Aim High, 4, by Paul Kelly and Susan Iannuzzi. Published and copyright, Oxford University Press, 2010. CD 2. Unit 5, page 41. Read. Exercise 3. Read and listen to the text.
The 7 Wonders of the World? If you read the online editions of newspapers and magazines, you'll know that internet publications frequently compile top lists. The 10 funniest films this year, or the 20 best sports cars ever, are just a couple of examples that can be found. However, list writing is not a modern phenomenon. The ancient Greeks started the fashion with a list that has remained popular for centuries. The 7 Wonders of the World. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the statue of Zeus, Artemis's Sanctuary, the Mausoleum of King Mausolus, the Colossus of Rhodes, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and the Great Pyramid of Giza were all proclaimed to be the best constructions in the world by Greek scholars. But what criteria did they use to decide what was a wonder and what wasn't? In the first place, the Greeks didn't use the word wonders, but talked about things to be seen. As the 7 monuments were all situated around the Mediterranean Sea, the list was a kind of guide for Greek tourists, possibly the world's first tourists. Furthermore, it wasn't impartial, as 5 of the wonders were built by the Greeks themselves, and the list is really a celebration of Greek building techniques. Although the Greeks wouldn't have known about them, other monuments, such as the Great Wall of China or the Mayan temples in Guatemala, existed at the time and would have been contenders for a place on the list. Not surprisingly then, a lot of other lists have been made throughout history as mankind has continued to create spectacular constructions all over the world. The most recent example took place in 2007, when an organisation called the New 7 Wonders Foundation set up an internet poll to compile a new list. However, the organisers started badly by not including the only ancient wonder still in existence, the 4,500-year-old Great Pyramid of Giza. This omission immediately met with worldwide disapproval. It was considered a serious error to exclude a construction of such historical importance. The organisers quickly tried to correct their mistake by giving the pyramid special status. However, further controversy arose when it was discovered that multiple votes could be made by participants. Some countries quickly organised massive campaigns to get their monuments voted for. They sent thousands of text messages to their citizens, encouraging them to take part in the poll as often as they wanted. When the results were finally announced at a spectacular ceremony in Lisbon, some observers felt that the event had been turned into a giant publicity stunt for tourism. But was it really so different from the idea behind the ancient Greeks list? Thanks to the internet, campaigns to categorise monuments, historical artefacts and places of natural beauty will continue. And although such activities are often seen as just entertainment, they do raise our awareness of the need to protect and preserve monuments. However, if people really want to do something to protect our heritage, they need to contact organisations such as UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation. They take the job of looking after the world's famous monuments very seriously.
Unit 5, page 44. Listen. Exercises 1 and 2. Listen to the quiz show.
And so, let's introduce the next 2 contestants on Where in the World. On my left, I have Dara Mayer from Tullamore in Ireland. Hello, Dara.
Hello.
And on my right, I have Leah Arafa from Dahouk in Iraq.
Hi.
Now, in the first round, you're going to hear the descriptions of some famous buildings. Just to remind you what the rules are, I'm going to give each of you some information about a famous landmark, and you have to identify it. Now, Dara and Leah, for an extra point, you can interrupt me whenever you want. But if you're wrong, the other contestant has a chance to listen to the rest of the information and win a bonus point. Right, Dara, you're first. Are you ready?
I think so.
OK, here we go. This building became a UNESCO Heritage Site in 1983, and it took just over 17 years to build it. It was... Dara thinks he already knows the answer. Which building is it?
Is it the Sydney Opera House?
The Sydney Opera House. Let me have a look at the answer card. No, Dara, it's not the Sydney Opera House.
Oh.
OK, Leia, you've got a chance to win a bonus point, so listen carefully to the rest of the description. It was built in memory of a very important person's wife, and the building is considered a wonderful example of Indian art. Can you name it?
I think it's the Taj Mahal.
Leia thinks it's the Taj Mahal, and it is! Well done, Leia. You've won a bonus point, and now it's your turn. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. Here we go. About 2,000 years ago, a lot of people visited this famous landmark, Leia, and they still do today. It was one of the world's first stadiums, and a symbol of one of the most important civilizations that the world has ever seen, although many of the events that took place in it were very cruel. It was in ruins for many years, but excavation work in the 19th century discovered lots of interesting artifacts, and restoration work in the 20th century turned it into one of Europe's most popular tourist sites. Do you know which building it is?
I'm not sure. Is it the...
Unit 5, page 47. Language Skills, Exercise 1. Listen and check.
What are you doing your geography project on?
Well, I'm facing a bit of a problem at the moment. I've found 3 UNESCO sites, but I can't decide which one I like best. What about you?
Well, I'm writing about the Zab Valley in Algeria.
Where?
The Zab Valley. I found it on the UNESCO website. It says there are 5 settlements which were built in the 10th century in the Sahara Desert, but they're in a perfect state of preservation. And the people have also preserved their 1,000-year-old heritage. As a result, it's an important historical place.
It sounds interesting, but it would be too hot for me.
Well, it says here, the criteria used for the construction of the towns meet the needs of people living in a hot climate.
What does that mean?
That the towns are surrounded by big walls, and the streets are narrow, so the people are protected from the sun.
Even so, the heat must be exhausting.
Yes, but the local oasis acts as a sanctuary from the sun. I think it sounds fascinating.
Everyday English 5. Teacher's Book, page 110. Asking for information. At the museum. Exercise 1. Read and listen to the dialogue.
Hi, I wonder if you could help me.
Sure. What would you like to know?
Can you tell me where I can leave my backpack?
Yes, the check room is right here behind me.
Great. Do I have to leave my purse there as well?
No, you can take that into the museum with you.
Thanks. Would you mind telling me which floor the Picasso paintings are on?
Yes, you need to take the elevator to the 5th floor.
Do you know if there's a long line at the moment?
Yes, the exhibition is quite full right now. You might prefer to go down to the theater and see the movie about the artist first.
Right, thanks. May I ask you where the restroom is?
There's one on every floor behind the escalator.
Thanks. And one last question. Could you tell me what time the gift store closes?
It closes at the same time as the museum, at 5:30.
Thank you so much for your help.
My pleasure.
Everyday English 5. Teacher's Book, page 110. Asking for information. At the museum. Exercise 4. Listen and repeat.
Can you tell me where I can leave my backpack? Would you mind telling me which floor the Picasso paintings are on? Do you know if there's a long line at the moment? May I ask you where the restroom is? Could you tell me what time the gift store closes?
Everyday English 5. Teacher's Book, page 110. Asking for information. At the museum. Exercises 5 and 6. Listen to the dialogues. Dialogue 1.
Museum of Modern Art, can I help you?
Oh, hello. Can you tell me which exhibitions are on right now?
Well, apart from the permanent collection, you can see the works of William Kentridge and others.
Would you mind telling me how long the Kentridge exhibition is on for?
Yes, it's on until May 17th.
Thanks a lot.
Dialogue 2.
Good morning.
Oh, hello. Is that MoMA?
Yes, it is. How can I help you?
I want to see the Marina Abramovich exhibition before it closes. Could you tell me how I can pre-book some tickets?
Well, you can book the tickets online or by phone.
Would you mind telling me the address of your website?
Sure. It's www.moma.org.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
Dialogue 3.
Museum of Modern Art.
Oh, hello. I wonder if you can help me.
I hope so. What would you like to know?
Well, I'll be visiting New York next week with some friends, and we were wondering what the ticket price is for a group.
May I ask how many people there will be in your group?
There are 8 of us.
I'm afraid a discount is only available for groups of 10 or more.
Oh, that's a shame.
Dialogue 4.
Good afternoon.
Hello, is that the Museum of Modern Art?
Yes, it is. What can I do to help you?
Could you tell me if it's possible to have lunch in the museum?
Yes, madam. There are 2 cafes and a restaurant inside the museum.
Do you know if it's necessary to book a table at the restaurant?
Yes, it's advisable to book. The name of the restaurant is The Modern, and you need to call 212 if you're outside New York, 333-1220 to make a reservation.
Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.